So, yeah. Happy 40th anniversary, Pac-Man!
Hooray!
Why don't we celebrate with something that came out about a decade prior for the Nintendo 3DS, with this design.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's the Ghostly Adventures look.
And the Ghostly Adventures Ghosts.
It's literally like the prototype for the Ghostly Adventures
Oh.
And this particular game here is actually not just a Pac-Man game, but it also has elements of Galaga as well.
The bugs have invaded.
That's kind of ugly.
Yeah, the insectoids have invaded.
This game's kind of an anomaly, but I do remember having a little bit of fun with it way back when. And it's kind of a shame, because I don't think this ever got a digital release like later. But that said, welcome to Pac-Man and Galaga Dimensions.
Huh.
Ooh, looks cute.
It's cute, but there's more to it than just being a typical Pac-Man or Galaga game, because it's actually an amalgamation of Pac-Man and Galaga games.
Let's see, Pac-Man
Whoa.
Tilt.
Two of them will being original to this game, and the other four being stuff, well, we've actually have already seen before within the gaming space, like the original Pac-Man, Championship Edition, Galaga, and Galaga Legions. And yes, there was it also included a teaser trailer for the then upcoming Pac-Man cartoon, Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures.
Gotcha. Galaga Legions. I forgot about Legions. But yeah, so I guess we're going to show off the 3DS exclusive ones.
Mm-hmm. Well, I figured it would make the most sense, and just a quick discretion, folks. I am going through a bit of a cold right now, so I do deeply apologize for how off I'll sound throughout this whole thing.
You'll be fine. You can do this, man.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think you could sound any worse than I did during our cleanup videos for Odyssey. Like that time, I had a particularly nasty funk during those videos.
I don't remember it being that bad, but then again, it has been a little while, so my mind's a little foggy on the element. But yeah, Pac-Man Tilt is, well, it's a 2D platformer starring the titular Pac-Man, and are you too familiar with Yoshi Topsy-Turvy?
Yeah.
I know of it, and didn't you and a friend do a video of that years ago?
Oh yeah, my old friend Jessica, aka Light Dark Soy Sauce. We did do a look at on Yoshi Topsy-Turvy a long time ago. But yeah, Pac-Man Tilt, pretty much is Yoshi Topsy-Turvy, but with Pac-Man.
Huh. Okay.
And honestly, it plays itself a little more straight than the other game, because that game I remember being more mission-based, whereas this one, it's just your typical A to B sort of platformer where you collect all the Pac dots, all the fruit, and if you can, as many ghosts as you can.
Whoop.
Gotcha.
But yeah, tilting pretty much means everything in this game, especially when you want to get a certain kind of momentum while going through, like, activating switches and flippers and whatnot.
Ooh.
Okay, is there a...
I said don't forget those. There you go.
Is there a plot, or is this more of an arcadey game?
Oh, this is very much an arcadey game. There's really no centric story to it. Just have fun.
Okay.
I'm wrong with that.
And I will say, like, say whatever you will about the design that they gave Pac-Man back in this particular era. I will say, like, this whole aesthetic really is very pleasing for the guy.
It's a nice neon feel. Like, go ahead.
I was just saying I like it.
I feel like especially how Championship Edition showed, I honestly think neon works for him.
Oh, absolutely. No, and also it should be said, like, this was actually, like, again, this was, like, pre-Ghostly Adventures, so, Pac-Man here, to my surprise, was actually voiced by, Debbie Derryberry, aka Coco Bandicoot, Jimmy Neutron, to name a few.
Yeah.
Oh, and Zatch Bell. Almost forgot about him.
Oh, do we ever hear, like, are there cutscenes with actual dialogue kind of thing?
Well, no, but she does make the occasional, quip every now and again. It's very much the typical, like that.
Yeah, honestly, now that I think about it, did they reuse these clips for when Pac-Man appeared in Street Fighter Cross Tekken? Because I could have sworn I've heard some of those clips sounded like the exact same clips he uses in that game.
Oh yeah, no, like I think they've been using all these clips originated from Pac-Man Party, and they just kind of stuck with it up until Ghostly Adventures.
Okay.
Which is honestly weird looking back on it. Like, I mean, I won't mince words. I will always hold more preference towards the classic Pac-Man art style or character art, whatever. But I will say I never found this particular design of Pac-Man to be that, like, bad or as bad as everyone else makes it out to be.
Honestly, I think it's an instance of, I don't think it's so much the design that people hated, just everything that came with the design.
Well, yeah, that's true. I mean, I will definitely say I will never I will never give too big of a grudge against like the whole art style and stuff that they tried for the cartoon. I just thought the writing was really fucking juvenile.
Yeah.
Because we're memes.
Memes and just very, very dated catchphrases and whatnot.
Actually...
Or maybe not so much dated catchphrases, but just dated just things that you implement, like, you know, catchphrases and whatnot, that just, they're not going to die out within the next few days or whatever.
That looks like SpongeBob for some reason.
I was about to say, actually, now that I look at it, like, comparing how he looks here in a few of the other games to how he looks in Ghostly Adventures, I can honestly say that, like, I kind of have if I had to choose, I kind of like the way that the design works in these games. Like, just thinking back to it, again, because I saw, like, a video talking about Ghostly Adventures, I think the thing that sells it for me are the eyes. Like, the eyes here look a lot more livelier than they did in Ghostly Adventures.
They sort of do, and, I mean, not to say I don't like how they did with Ghostly Adventures, but I think, actually, one thing I will definitely say, I'll never be showing this off for the channel, because I actually never played it, Pac-Man Party for the Wii. Pac-Man is very expressionate in that game, even pulling off some things I never actually would have expected from the guy, and honestly, it's very charming.
I'll have to look into that. Also, the art style and the fact that we're just rolling everywhere is really giving me some Loco Roco vibes here.
Oh god, yeah. This, honestly, now that I think about it, this is essentially Pac-Man's answer to Loco Roco.
We should probably show that off at some point, because that's a silly game.
That's a PSP game, right?
I do have that game, I just haven't played it in a long time, so...
I've always wanted
to play catch-up.
I've always wanted to try that game out. I've always wanted to show and try out Patapon.
Isn't that the RTS with the little black creatures?
Yeah, where it's all
ink-like creatures.
Yeah, no, the little black, like, toony little thingies, and it's all like rhythm based. The idea being that you can't actually nuts.
Yay.
The idea being you can't actually give them direct commands. What you do is you command their drummer to play certain beats. And depending on what beat you play determines what they'll do. Like, there's a beat to move forward, there's a beat to defend, there's a beat to attack any invading tribes and stuff like that.
Yeah. Is it weird that the first thing that comes to mind when I think of that is back in the PlayStation Battle Royale, when they actually meshed that game with God of War for one level?
Yeah, I remember that.
You mean
like,
Loco Roco or Patapon?
Patapon.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's
They
cool.
actually had those little guys actually go and start beating living shit out of Hades in that.
Yeah,
Because I think it was Hades.
Because I know because I do know one of my favorite stages is the Loco Roco one, where suddenly frickin' Metal Gear Ray.
Metal Gear Ray.
That one was fucking nuts.
That's a great one. That is one thing. Real quick, if there's anything I loved about PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale, is I love the idea of how you know, all the characters had their own original games, but for the stages they combine games into those stages.
Yeah, that is one thing I definitely like.
I'd be lying if I said that wasn't that was a. I'd be lying if I said that was a bad idea. But that being, and you know, thinking about it, kind of makes me realize just how that the whole morphing thing from Smash Ultimate sort of feels like that in a way.
Yeah, I hope we can see more of that.
So now we're gonna come to the other original game of the two. This is Galaga 3D Impact, where it's literally VR. It's literally VR Galaga.
Whoa! Holy crap!
And I will admit, it's interesting to some degree, but it is easily the lesser of the two games.
What is with all those button inputs on the right?
I think it's just to show. Oh, that's right. Those gauges you see next to the buttons, I do believe they tie to weapons that you can use, and they do run under a limit.
Oh, okay. Oh, here we go. It's okay,
yeah,
man. We all get
don't
there.
use them for too long, otherwise you'll overheat.
Alrighty. So far, this looks pretty solid so far.
It's solid, though I do unfortunately think that... shit.
No, you're fine, but I see where you're going from, though, is that whereas with the Pac-Man stages, you had various different backgrounds, various different levels, and various different challenges here, everything is just a big, you know, shooter hallway where you're just shooting at stuff that appears in front of you.
Not to mention the fact that, I think it, like Pac-Man Tilt, this game is, like, it's very arcade-like in that it's very one and done. Like, you don't go playing one level and then you save your game, you continue after you take a break or something like that. I think it's all in one continuous run.
Okay.
Which, I mean, to make up for the fact that there's very few levels in this mode.
What do you think so far of this hype?
I'm not quite sure, to be honest. Like, this was...
I will say, though,
like...
I will say that I do apologize for all the tutorial crap you're seeing. That's just how it is when you first start the game.
That's fine.
No worries.
But yeah, you basically have two weapons on your hand. You got the typical blaster, and you also got this beam that basically absorbs the enemies that it attacks and fills up those bars on the touchscreen. Once you fill them all up, then I do believe you get to unleash a super special attack.
Oh, and I can see. Then maybe you can. I see. Then you can. It almost looks like you can also level up their power. Maybe I'm just getting confused there. I think I see the LV is referring to the energy. Okay, got it. How does this control with the gyroscope and everything? Well,
on the actual 3DS system itself, it doesn't handle too terribly bad. Like, it's not the best in the world, but I mean, I'll just go ahead and say it outright. Playing this game on Citra, you don't really have that novelty quite as well. So I pretty much, thankfully, you do have the option to just move your camera around with the circle pad.
Okay. Careful. Oh, jeez. Nice.
I will say the music for this bit is actually really nice.
Yeah, it seems like just for a random like collection thing, they did put a good amount into this to make sure it wouldn't just be a port collection.
Oh yeah, no, they did try, though, even if I will say, like, at most, the whole collection is just, it's good, not great.
Okay.
Like, I definitely would have appreciated if, like, you know what, thinking about it now, one thing I would definitely appreciate is if they had the DX version of Championship Edition instead of just the regular edition.
Oh yeah.
Though I think that was, like, a very recent release by the time, Pac-Man Galaga Dimension was out, so I can sort of understand why they left it out.
Mm-hmm.
So that does mean, you know what, though? That does lead me to wonder if for the 40th anniversary they are still going to try, like, maybe doing, like, a bigger Pac-Man collection that has, like, all those, like all the great stuff they had alongside, like, the more recent stuff from back then, like Championship Edition DX and, heck, maybe even Pac-Man Tilt. I mean, granted,
yeah.
that last one's kind of, probably not going to happen anytime soon, but, you know, pipe dreams.
Yeah. I do hope we can get. I do hope that on that big Pac-Man collection that they release, that we can get a lot of good games there. And honestly, between all these variations that we've been seeing in our this past year, that we've been looking at all these Namco collections, it honestly seems like it's not just Pac-Man that could get all these cool collections, because it seems like Galaga has been getting quite a few number of iterations.
Yeah, like honestly, I wouldn't mind them seeing like try another attempt at. Well, I mean, granted, I say that like making another big Namco Museum sort of game, even though that's something they've been doing for years now. I kind of want to see them try again in a similar style to like they did with the very original series, where it was more than just a typical game collection. It was also like an exhibit, pretty much. You literally were visiting a literal Namco museum.
Yeah.
You get to see all the stuff that comes, like all the stuff that wants to show off, like exhibits, toys, magazines, whatnot. Show off a whole bunch of their history.
Oh yeah, I don't know if I've already said this, but one of my favorite things from Ratchet & Clank is how you can access a bonus level that is just Insomniac HQ.
Really?
Yeah, and that's basically, isn't it also just like a giant test room?
Yeah, it's a test room. It's kind of like, remember how at the end of our PlayStation 4 commentary, I was looking. It actually did look like a huge collection of like throughout all their experiences with the Ratchet & Clank franchise, like a big storeroom. It was kind of like that, where the big museum at the end was just. It was like a photo. It was like a almost one-to-one comparison for what Insomniac HQ looked like at the time.
It was literally like their HQ was literally just a space bunker.
No, not at the end of the PlayStation 4, but I think it was in either Going Commando or the first game that you went to it, and it was just an office building, but that's where it had all of the models and stuff to show off of what was in the game.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of silly, but kind of cool at the same time.
That does sound kind of neat. But yeah, on that note, folks, that's it for our Pac-Man and Galaga Dimensions look at. Again, terribly sorry for how much I was hacking and sounding like a complete monster throughout the whole thing.
No.
And I mean. You can get this game at retail for... I'm pretty sure this game barely goes for anything nowadays. So, I mean, if you liked what you saw, wouldn't mind also having a little bit of classic Pac-Man and Championship Edition and the Galaga stuff, and freaking there was also Galaga Legion DX was also on there as well, and I mean, if you want to try something like that on the system, go for it. But otherwise, until next time, guys.
See ya.
# bring back Mappy.